What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. This is just going to be a quick little video on Dogecoin and, well, by popular request, I'm going to take a look at Shiba INU as well. So before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _ the Art of Crypto, you're going to want to do so. This is where I'm sharing the latest market updates as well as anything that I'm looking to invest in. And if you don't want to miss out, make sure you drop me a follow on Twitter. There's a lot of things I cover on Twitter that I cannot on my YouTube. And before I forget, just wanted to remind everyone who is interested in the monthly signups that it's going to be opening on Sunday, 10 AM EST. That will be 29th of August. It's only going to be open for a very short amount of time, as well as only for a limited amount of space. So make sure you don't miss out on this if you were looking into this beforehand. So if any of you watched my previous Dogecoin video, I've been talking about buying the breakout of that bullish pennant right there. And if you did, well, congratulations, because in about 3 weeks, you would have got about 76% from that point onwards. So right now, Doge seems to be dumping. I know, you know, we all know that. So let's figure out exactly where Dogecoin is going to find support next. And immediately on the VPVR, you can see that there is quite a little bit of volume, right? The volume really starts to pick up around this block right here. So immediately, you should train your eyes to go to immediately 0.27 in order for, just to look for areas where Dogecoin might find support. But simply put, I'm just going to give you like a few levels where you could potentially pick up some Dogecoin for, close to support, right? As they call it, right? Close to support. Now, am I saying that Dogecoin is going to find exact bottoms over here? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that if you get Dogecoin at any of these levels, it should be pretty decent, right? Just based off of the VPVR. However, if you really were to ask me where would be my ideal entry for Dogecoin, it's going to be about here, right? In this bullish order block right here. So let me just mark out those levels. Now, am I saying that the price of Dogecoin is going to dump all the way there? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that if it does come to this level, I'm going to be buying heavily, right? Not only is the VPVR reflecting this, this strong level of support here, but this is a bullish order block that has not been tested before. And if you go onto the daily chart, you can see that this is in fact the bullish order block that has not been tested. And if Dogecoin really were to get to this point, you wouldn't really even have to be concerned that things are already bearish. And just to draw your attention to the weekly chart once more, you can see that we are in fact really bullish on Dogecoin, right? Just based off the weekly chart, right? Without any other technical indicators or whatever, you can see that Dogecoin, you have a high, you have a high low, high low, and then over here, that's potentially a lower high. But if we can form a high low here and continue onwards to attack this previous high at, how much is that? Close to $1? That's 74 cents, right? As long as we can form a higher low here, then we should be able to go and attack this level at 45 cents-ish, as well as 74 cents. So this is how it looks like on the weekly chart, right? As I always like to say, or actually I don't think I've said this before, when in doubt, zoom out. If you go really granular, like let's say on the 4 hourly, you can see that, hey, you might think, hey, Dogecoin's dumping, Dogecoin, it's bearish. But, if you go into the, let's say a macro chart, yeah, it looks really good. So when in doubt, always zoom out. So in this case, this is the 3 levels where I would be looking to purchase some Dogecoin. Now, these are just simply good support levels. These will not be the absolute bottom. In fact, the bottom is going to be closer to these 3 levels right here. If, the price actually does come down here, then go in heavy here, right? But over here, you can start buying already. So the prices for the first entry is going to be $0.27. You have 26 cents and about 25 cents. So these 3 levels are going to be key levels of support for Dogecoin to hold, because honestly, if it doesn't hold like these 3 levels, I see Dogecoin going back down to 21, 22 cents and 21 cents for sure, right? So this is going to be a sign that you're going to want to watch for, right? If it breaks below this high volume node right here, there's a very good chance that it's going to go back to these levels that I mentioned beforehand. And again, just to clarify, these 22 cents, 21 cents, and about 20.5 cents, these are going to be my ideal entries, right? Because this is a macro scale order block. And usually macro scale order blocks hold a lot of weight. So prioritize these, but even here, if you just buy it here, it wouldn't really hurt, right? Just remember to manage your trade properly, because I cannot be there to manage it for you. So as for a stop loss for this trade, I would actually set it just right below here at about 24 cents. So remember what I said about how the moment you break below this high volume node means that your long idea has been invalidated. In fact, I'm just going to move it down just a tiny bit to give price a little bit of wiggle room to play with so that you don't get stopped out unnecessarily. Now, is this entry risky? Absolutely. This is not, this is not the typical order block that I like to use. And if any of you have been following my channel for any amount of time, you know how much of a sniper that I am. Like, for example, if you watch my last Bitcoin and Ethereum video, which I will link on the top right hand corner, if you haven't already watched that, I really recommend you do. I called ADA at like what, $2.64 ish or $2.60, something like that. And it literally just came right down to that level right over here, and it bounced. So for those of you who know me, you know how much of a sniper that I am. However, this is not the typical snipe that I like to go for, because it simply isn't just, the usual conditions that I look for. So take this trade with a grain of salt. It is risky. I'm not going to deny that. So just beware, okay? This is a high risk entry, and this is going to be the ideal entry. And right now, if you were looking at all of these prices and you're like, hey, how do I use these prices? So let me teach you how. If you say had $1,000 to play with, what I would do is maybe go in with $300 here, $300 here, and $300 here. And then you're just going to set your stop loss, right? But ideally, what you would want to do is maybe 200 here, 400 here, and 400 here, right? The lower the price goes, the bigger you increase your bet size so that, you can get an optimal entry. Now, just do not make the mistake of going all in on like one entry. That's not what traders who know what they're doing does, right? Every trader that knows what they're doing is scaling in and they're scaling out. So same thing goes for here. If you had $1,000 to play with, maybe 200 here, 400 here, 400 here, right? You get the idea. Or maybe 2, 3, 5, right? You get the idea. Doing so will allow you to, just optimize your entry, because nobody's going to know where's the exact bottom. So as for the take profit targets for Dogecoin, if you were to snipe any of these levels, it would be about here. It would be definitely about here. You would definitely attack there, attack there, for sure there. These will be roughly the take profit targets that you're going to want to pay attention to. So the take profit is going to be 28.7 cents, 30.5 cents, 32.6 cents, 35 cents, 38 cents, 39.7 cents, and 45.4 cents, give or take, right? These are going to be the level that you're going to want to watch for to take profits if you do buy Dogecoin anywhere during these entries. Now, the way, again, you use these take profits is to maybe take 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, and leave the rest as a moonback to go to all-time highs. Now, just remember one thing, that as long as Dogecoin is bullish, it should attack their previous highs. So just add on 2 more in case Dogecoin really goes to the moon, right? That's going to be at 58.7 cents and 73.6 cents ish. So those are going to be your analysis for Dogecoin. Now, if you feel like you've learned a thing or two, or maybe you just find this video valuable to you, it would help me so much if you could just drop a like button. It's a small gesture, but it really, really helps a lot. So now let's move on to everyone's favorite meme coin, Shiba. Now, honestly, I did not expect to make a video on Shiba. Like, I'm gonna be straight out with you guys, but hey, do it for the memes, right? So Shiba, immediately my attention is caught to, on the daily chart, it's not looking pretty, right? I'm not gonna lie, it is not looking particularly pretty, right? You're gonna want to mark down this level at about 708. I don't even know how to pronounce this, right? 708. You're going to want to mark down this level. Basically, if you break below this level, there's a very good chance that it's going to retrace pretty hard. And that is just based on what I'm seeing on the daily chart. And the other thing that sticks out to me is the fact that we've broken below the point of control, right? Usually the point of control, which is this yellow line right here, is supposed to hold as pretty strong support. Now that we've broken below it, it's going to hold as pretty strong resistance once we do come back up to test it. So yeah, just to prove my suspicions again, if you do break below this level right here, which is going to be pretty strong, right? Like, I'm just going to draw this level slightly above, right? This level right now, where it's at, if you break below this level, there's a pretty good chance that Shiba is going to come down to probably about here, and I'll tell you the reason why. So if you just go back onto the 4 hourly, you can see that not only does the VPVR confirm this, but what I'm seeing is a bullish order block over here on the 4 hourly. So usually, if you don't know anything about order blocks, just think of them as untapped areas of liquidity that institutions like to push the price to. Now, am I saying that Shiba is being manipulated? Maybe, maybe not, but you would really be surprised to hear that everything is manipulated in the markets, right? You talk about Forex, you talk about stocks, everything is manipulated by the institutions because they're the ones with the money. They're the ones with the cash that is able to move the markets. And if you do break below this, this level right here, it would make sense for Shiba to try to look for support at these two levels right here, which is 640 and 625, because over here you have a classic heads and shoulders pattern, and right now it's breaking down. So if it retraces to anywhere about here, don't be surprised, right? So my areas for support for Shiba is going to be, well, I would really like 691 to hold as support, but don't count on that, right? Ideally, you want 640 and 625, but if not, 691 and 672 could be good areas to dollar cost average in as well. And as for the take profits, honestly, guys, I would like to be straight up with you guys. I'm a pretty transparent guy. I don't know what this is, okay? This is just either this is like accumulation or this is like a distribution for a further move down. Now, is that possible? Absolutely, right? I love to say that just because something has fallen by 99%, don't expect it. Don't think that it won't fall another 99% from that point on. So am I saying that Shiba is going to go like even lower? That's possible, right? Don't throw it out of your realm of possibility. But as I always like to say, as long as you are bullish, or rather, dips are for buying, right? As long as you're bullish. So are we bullish on Shiba? Possibly. The fact that we've broken through this protected high right here makes me feel like, there's hope that Shiba is indeed bullish. So similar to Dogecoin, the way that I use the macro chart in order to give you guys a perspective, even if Shiba retraces all the way down to this order block right here, it is still a higher low, right? This is your low, this is your high, and this is your high low. So technically, you can be bullish on the weekly chart, right? The fact that you did not break this level right here is concerning. However, we're just going to play the charts as it is, and we are going to use these areas of value to our advantage. So the first, I'm just going to move 691 just a tiny bit above. I'm just going to add another level there because right now what I'm seeing here, once you go onto the weekly chart, which is it's a very good sign, is the fact that you have a bullish order block right here, right? The last down sort of block before a massive move upwards, which is this, is your bullish order block. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to start dollar cost averaging into Shiba starting at 717, 698, 690, and 672, right? These are going to be key levels for, the price to hold for Shiba, right? But if it doesn't, then, remove the 717. That's the current price right now. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so your levels to watch for is going to be 698, 690, 672, right? These three levels, if you had $1,000 to play with, 300 or maybe 200, 300, 500, right? And if you want to go even heavier, then I would suggest your position size to be the heaviest at about 640 and 629, right? Now let's just count it as 630. So these are going to be my ideal entries for Shiba Inu. However, I wouldn't buy Shiba, but hey, it's what the people want, and let's do it for the people. So the stop loss for Shiba, in this case, if you were going to buy in any of these levels, would be at about, let me just zoom into a lower time frame to try to frame this out. So it'll be about there, right? Your stop loss for this trade is going to be at about 660. There you go, 660 straight up, or 659, right? So again, just to reiterate, 698, 690, 672. This is going to be a stop loss. And if you are going for Shiba on the ideal entry, you're going to want to set your stop right below about 607, right? This is going to be your stop if you do enter in from here. Now, I know the stop loss seems a little bit wide, but when you consider the fact that as long as Shiba is bullish, you are going to attack this high right here at 963. This is about a 50% pump from this point onwards if you do catch the exact bottom. So if you're trying to gain 50% and your stop is just what, 5, 6, 7%, that's almost a 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio, which is, I would take that any day. So at the moment, just to reiterate, you really want Shiba to hold this level right here. If it doesn't, then it's going to go to these levels. And as for the take profit targets for Shiba, once you finish your business, once you go long there, then you're going to want to take profits somewhere about, you're just going to want to take profits along the way, similar to Dogecoin. And honestly, yeah, that's it. Once you break above this level, it's just going to be a straight pump, right? Because if you just take a look at the VPVR, there's literally nothing stopping this from taking off, right? But you need to get through all of this resistance first. Now remember, you have broken below the point of control. So there is a lot of resistance that you need to fight through. But the moment you fight through it and you find support, right, you flip resistance into support, it's going to absolutely take off. So just keep in mind the scenarios that I just discussed. And if you've been following me for quite some time now, and hey, maybe you realize, hey, this guy seems to know what he's talking about, or maybe he just seems to be right a lot. Well, if you wish to learn how to do this for yourselves, you're going to want to consider joining the private group. Over here, you're going to get access to a trading education where I lay down everything that I know that I've learned over the years, and you're going to figure out what works and what doesn't. Not only that, you're going to get access to my thoughts on the market. This is where I'm calling NFT plays. This is where I'm calling 100x gems. Not only that, you're going to get access to daily profitable trading setups where people are making money every single day. And the best part is you're going to get access to my sniper trades where, you know, it's pretty much spot on, right? I call these snipes every day. I call these snipes really often, and they usually hit right on the money, right? If you see what happened with ADA, if you see what happened with Polkadot recently, I called all those, okay? So just a little reminder that monthly signups are going to be opening on 29th of August, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So just keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, just sign up for a semi-annual and above subscription. Those are going to be much better value for money. And for those of you who have stayed until this point, this is going to be your bonus trade of the day. And I'm going to take it right out from the Discord group. So right now we're looking at Super Farm, right? This is a coin that I'm going to be investing in as well. And at this current point where it's at right now, it's a pretty good place to invest in because you are in a daily order block right now. Let me just plot this out for you guys. So you are in a daily order block right now and the VPVR supports it, right? It shows that there is a uptick in volume over at this area. So you're going to want to try to pick up Super Farm at any of these levels, right? This current level that it's at right now, about 828. That's a good level to start. And then you're going to want to pick some up over here as well. This is about 0.796. Now you're going to want to set your stop loss. I don't know if you guys will be too late when you start watching this video. There is one risk that you're going to want to keep in mind when you are taking this trade. And that is the fact that Bitcoin is not done dumping yet. So honestly, you're going to want to dollar cost average some more and you're going to want to set your stop loss right there. Now, this is a pretty wide dollar cost average range, but even though your stop loss is, you know, pretty wide, the minimum that Super Farm is going to go to is about 1.4, right? At the least, it's going to try to reach for this level, right? At 1.4. So I don't know about you, but if you get Super Farm anywhere around here, that's like 100x. Sorry, that's 100%, right? So that's a 2x. So if you're risking like what, 20% for 2x, I'd say that's a pretty good risk to reward ratio. But in the event that Bitcoin dumps really, really hard, you're going to want to look for this next level in order to purchase Super Farm. Now, again, this is a project that I'm bullish on long term. So that is just another bonus that you would want to keep in mind. So again, the stop loss for this one is going to be right here. And the stop loss for this trade is going to be right there. So let me just zoom in a little so that you guys have a chance to screenshot this and put it on your own chart. Remember, right now I'm giving you the exact levels for, you know, all the trades. And if you can't even be bothered to mark these down on your own chart, there's nothing more I can do for you. So 643 is going to be the stop loss, okay. And then over here, these are your 4 levels to DCA, 516, 485, 453, 438, and this is going to be your stop loss. Similarly, even if you buy Super Farm over at this range right here, this is a daily order block, right? This is going to be really strong support. Even if you do get Super Farm at this range right here, the ultimate price target should be 1.4, okay? So these are going to be your TPs, 1.4, 1.9, 2.15, 2.6, and 3.6-ish, 4.44. So these are going to be your take profits for Super Farm. As you can see, there is zero volume above here. So as long as it breaks through this overhead resistance at about 0.95 to $1, it is going to absolutely take off. And don't forget, this is a long-term project for me as well, so that's a little bonus. So I hope you have gotten value out of this video. If you have, please comment down in the comment section, super. And for those of you who do comment in my video, make sure you follow me on Twitter, because that's like, if I have any updates on, you know, this trade or just any trades or just the markets in general, you're going to want to, like, I'm going to be posting it on Twitter, right? I can only post one video a day. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. And with that said, my friend, may the gains be with you. I'ma see you in the Discord group, and peace.